This on. Hopefully the game shows up. It's like a 50-50 chance. Oh, and it did. Boom. We are live. Look at that.
All right.
Sweet. Well, thanks for doing this. I generally would announce a guest, but again, I've been slacking on who the next guest is going to be. So if anyone has any suggestions, feel free to reach out. I've been meaning to have Grand on the podcast for quite some time, so it kind of worked out that I didn't have a guest because he was going to be on anyways. So, but I don't really have any idea who the next person's going to be. So if people have suggestions, or if you have a suggestion, Grand, just let me know. So.
Okay, I put a couple in mind.
Yeah, keep a couple in mind. And so, yeah, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we'll just, I always do the general questions. You got most of the questions in advance, and you were able to kind of phrase them in a way that makes a little more sense too. So we'll get into the general questions and then a little more specific to you later on. So let's just start with it.
Okay.
Yeah. When did you start playing THPS, and which game was it?
Started playing Tony Hawk in, I think it was kindergarten, whatever the year was. I was playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1. My brother had just started skateboarding, and of course, his friend got a skateboarding game. That was Tony Hawk. And he showed it to me, and I was like, whoa, cool game. So Tony Hawk 1.
Tony Hawk 1. And which system?
Oh, N64.
N64. Okay, I don't know if you said that. But cool. So Tony Hawk 1, N64. What was the follow-up? Did you just jump into the second one then?
Oh, yeah. The second one was super crazy. That's when I really got into the game. I didn't play it anymore, or less casually. But that one really got me into skateboarding myself, actually. I mean, I was terrible. I was a little kid, you know. But I got more serious later on, like around middle school, and actually started doing some cool stuff. But I went for 2, 3, 4, 5, or Underground 2, American Wasteland, Project 8, and then I didn't play after Project 8. I didn't even know what the next one was. I kind of just stuck with Underground because of the area in time where things were. I kind of stuck with Thug 2. Played a little bit of American Wasteland online, but not a lot.
So were you playing them as they came out?
Yeah, as it came out.
Oh, wow. Okay, damn. Dude, you've been playing longer than I have. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, because...
I get very casually at the start. I wasn't trying to do boost plans in Tony Hawk 1.
Yeah, got it. So the first THPS game online, and was it with broadband or dial-up?
It was Thug 2, and it was with broadband.
Broadband, got it. Yeah, you got lucky with broadband. So Thug 2, what made you wait till Thug 2? I'm just curious.
My mom didn't allow me to get a network adapter. That's what made me wait.
Oh, okay. Did you get it when?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you get it when you first got the game and went online, like when it was at its peak? Then?
I can't remember the exact date. I remember the first time. Dude, it was really shocking. Like the first time I joined a room, it was just the first random room I could see. I got the network adapter plugged in. I got it working. Took me forever to get to work. I joined a room. This guy had a flashing board with flashing wings and was floating. And I was like, okay, I'm terrible at this game. I thought I was great. I don't know what's going on. That guy just got 10 million points in one combo, and I can barely get 5. I thought I was good at this game. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny. It always happens when people get online with a game they've never played online with before.
I thought when I first played, I was like, these fucking people are all cheating. That was my first thing I was playing. I was like, there's no way. Yeah, and they were doing that shit too, except it was on Tony Hawk 4, but they were getting like 10 mil. Some of them were getting 100 mil because obviously it's super late into the game. Like people could get bills at that time, but I was like, these are all cheaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, also like the colored text flags and stuff in the names. Like people were doing stuff I had no idea what they were doing. I thought they were like hacking because I didn't have a better term for
That
it. But
shit, I still don't know.
They kind of were.
I still don't know how they pulled off some of that stuff. I know you could do like colored text and stuff, but I have no idea how. Yeah. Is that with Game
There's a couple
Shark?
of different ways.
It's not with Game Shark though, right? It's going to be like you can actually do it within the game.
If I can recall correctly, it was with a certain version of Game Shark, and it was with Codebreaker. There were also like action replay codes, which is like another format for that kind of thing. It was a little bit different though, but mainly people use Game Shark and Codebreaker. That's basically the same thing.
Sure. So you couldn't do it within the game itself
yeah.
though. Okay. They are
Oh
fucking
no,
cheating,
by
man.
itself, absolutely not. No.
Yeah, they are cheating. What the fuck else are they doing? Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So throughout the series, what's the favorite THPS game and what makes it your favorite?
That's a very, very difficult question.
We can exclude Thug Pro. Or you can include it. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe you like the physics engine or something else. I don't know.
Well, I think the obvious answer is Thug Pro.
Yeah.
I think it's, this is the pinnacle the game's ever been at. We've never had this many levels in one mod, this many text, this many anything at once. So definitely Thug Pro, but I don't think that really counts because it's not a game in the series.
Sure.
And while I'm tempted to say Thug 1, as most people are, because, it has the best physics, it has drift, it has butt slaps, great animations, good creative skater, mostly anyway, good levels, just, great soundtrack. Everything about Thug 1 is good. But in terms of the most fun I had, which is what I tend to determine whether or not I like something, I'd say Tony Hawk 2. Because the hype for that game was incredible. I mean, I was a little kid playing Tony Hawk 1, and I remember I was at the ECSC, the East Coast Surfing Championship in Virginia Beach, where I grew up. I remember I saw this giant banner on a half pipe that said Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 coming soon, and I was like, no way! Like, I didn't even think about another game coming out, and it was so crazy. I was so excited for that game, and I remember buying it like with my brother and like just playing all night. It was so much fun. Plus, it was a really good game. There's features that game has that Thug Pro doesn't even have. They're kind of minor, but like
like what?
It's a really good game. I mean, these are really minute things, but
yeah,
I appreciate them. Well, okay. Here's a tiny thing. The text, if you're doing a combo, the text goes away if you're holding a grind or a manual. So it doesn't just like hold a just massive amount of text on screen. That's number one. And then it comes back, of course, if you do a new trick. Tiny, but kind of cool. If you bail, the trick text kind of looks like blood smeared, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like a neat effect.
Oh, cool.
What else? There was an exit animation for a really cool trick called Musket Nose Manual. They don't really have that exit animation anymore for like most of the tricks. Basically, if you're doing a handstand now, if you land it, it just kind of puts you right back on your board. There's a lot more detail, I think, in Tony Hawk 2 because if you looked in the credits of Tony Hawk 1, it said like coming soon. Like if this game does well, like we're gonna make another game that's even better with like no slides and stuff. And I think as far as I know, the developers really tried in Tony Hawk 2. And I don't know, I just have a lot of nostalgia for it. It's probably like super biased because of how hyped I was as a kid. And there are more things that like I don't want to like waste too much time on an answer here. Like I can tell you there's more little subtle things about Tony Hawk 2 that I really appreciate.
Yeah,
but,
and we can get back into it later because it's kind of interesting because I don't remember shit. I remember the park builder. And that was it. But I don't remember actually much else.
Like Thug 1 is obviously superior to Tony Hawk 2 in basically every way. But Tony Hawk 2 was just a blast. I loved it so much. So I guess that's...
Yeah, cool. So when you started, is there anyone that taught you or mentored you?
Do you mean online?
Yeah, yep, for online play.
Yeah. The very first experience I ever had of like improv or like basically anything not getting points involved was with a player named Bigoat Gamb. It was spelled this way. I don't know if I can say it loud enough. Gamb, Bigoat Gamb. He eventually got into Bigoat. I think he's one of the last members to get into it.
Yeah,
But dude, this
I
kid
have
was
the
like a
chat off, so
prodigy.
I can't see it. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I did turn the chat off.
Gamb.
GAMB. Okay.
Yeah,
And he was a
it's probably not
beagout,
well
and he was
known.
improving around.
Well, dude, this kid, like I was saying, he was a prodigy, man. Like
Holy shit.
he was like, I think he was like a 13-year-old like Japanese kid, and his favorite thing was to glitch. But I just knew him from just playing around online on Thug 2. And one time he was on like his whoring pass, and I saw him get like, well, it was like 500 million points in New Orleans. I was like, dude, how are you doing that? Like, he was great at whoring. He was great at improv, and I didn't even know what improv was. Like, I was like, what happened to all the points? I thought you wanted to get points. I thought you wanted to whore. And he was like, oh, well, this is my improv cast. I'm like, what's that? And he's like, oh, it's where you just like do, you try to look cool while you're playing. You try to like do random moves, like, basically a 13-year-old's interpretation of improv. But it was basically
Yeah.
accurate. And that was my first introduction to it. He didn't really show me like how to do things specifically, but he was my first, how do I say it? My first introduction to it was through him. And he was super good at the game. I don't know if he plays anymore, but I hope so because he was super, super good. But later on, probably around, I think 2011, when people were playing on like the Bob server, the Snipe server on Thug 1 on PS2.
Yep.
I played casually basically between Thug 2, Thaw online, and I didn't really, even after seeing Gamb like introduce me to this, I didn't really go for it that much. Like I liked playing, but I didn't really care to like improve that much or improv or horror. I just liked playing. I just liked talking to people, playing custom parks, making custom parks, just playing the game casually because that's really, I didn't really think anything else of it. I thought that was the whole point. But around 2011, I met Nit Flow. I don't know if he was in EX then, or if he was in Flow then, or whatever. I'm looking both now. But Nit was super kind, and I remember Nit would always play these custom parks that I just didn't understand like what he was doing. Like there are random pieces like that get in your way. You can't possibly skate a line in this level. Like kind of frustrating to play. I was like, what is this park? And I actually have some of them, and I need to convert more of them. Unfortunately, I've only converted one so far. But from the Thug 2 PS2 memory card. Or I'm sorry, Thug 1. I converted it to Thug Pro, which was pretty cool. But he played these parts that I didn't understand like what was the point because there were like random objects in your way everywhere you turn. And I was like, how do you even play this level? And he was like, oh, I'll show you. And I was like, oh, is this that improv thing? And he was like, yeah, basically, I don't know if he remembers this, but I was like, whoa, that looks really cool. I actually want to try that now. And so basically he taught me a lot of things like, spin this way on this trick if you want to. Anyway, you don't have to. Butt slap. Here's I already knew what butt slap was, but I wasn't really good at it. He kind of helped me with that. There's a lot of things he helped me with. So Nit was really, really helpful in terms of getting me to go from like casual player that knows about the game but doesn't really care to like, okay, I'm going to try to be more aggressive now. Nit, and then without question, there's no question about this, Buck. I would watch Buck's videos, even in the same time frame too, around like 2011. I would watch THPS videos. Shout out to Seawalk for keeping that going. I would watch a lot of videos, and I always noticed that Bucks were really good. I don't know if I was subscribed to him on YouTube. I don't even know if he had a channel then. I can't remember, but I would watch Buck, and I was like, this guy is always making better videos than everyone else. And I was like really stoked to finally meet Buck on Thug Pro. And I was like, whoa, dude, like you are so good at this game. And so over a long period of time, just playing with Buck, he's just incredible. Like when you watch him play, he's super, super skilled. And so watching him and just like talking to him, he basically, okay, here's the way I do this. You do this, but I do this, and this is better. It's kind of a bit of a humbling experience, but there's no doubt that he definitely, like what Nit did, he did probably twice as much.
Sure.
Yeah,
So he'll
really
tell it to you
that.
straight for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's what you're trying to call it.
Yeah. Cool. So, anyone else more recently that you're kind of looking at for learning? Or are
So
you
I'm
pretty
getting,
much like on your own thing now? Now you're just kind of tweaking your own style.
um, I'd say that's probably just doing my own thing at this point. I mean, I definitely, I observe players, I watch players. Like, I've always had great times chatting with Alec. Like, we always laugh a lot, and I don't play like Alec at all, but I can appreciate, his perspective and the way he plays.
Yeah.
Just in this game alone, I know. Should I be like playing, by the way, or no?
I'm watching other people, but I mean, it is your podcast, so I mean, yeah, we would like to watch you play. Plus, the reason that I asked that question, if you're kind of doing your own thing, it kind of seems like you are because you're, in particular, like this cast and a couple of the Australia videos you made. In particular, there's one with like this Ghost song, the band Ghost.
Yeah, there's a couple of those
Couple of
videos.
them, yeah, but there was one in particular I can't remember, but it really stuck with me, and I was like, this fucking guy's got crazy good style and flow, and of course you're throwing in the text and all that other stuff, but yeah, so that's why I was kind of curious if you're implementing more from other people now, or if you're just doing your own thing, and it obviously I think you're doing pretty much your own thing for the most part, so
Yeah, basically, I'd say it's my own thing. I mean, at some point, Buck, Knit, and to an extent Gam definitely like taught me what to do and how to do it. But I've kind of gone in my own direction. I just prefer style to the detriment of everything else. Like, I don't really care if I'm improving. I don't really care. I just want it to look cool, and that's basically uh, the only way I determine whether or not I did something that I like or I did something cool was, does it look cool to me? And it's
yeah.
funny because even going back all the way to like, say like Tony Hawk 2, for example, there was a trick. It's still in the game, but you couldn't hold it. It's unfortunate they changed that. Called heel flip varial lean. I
Oh
noticed
yeah,
even like when I was really young, like, okay, this trick looks really cool if you spin it one direction, but it doesn't look as cool if you spin it the other direction. So I was always like aware of factors that were stylistic, and I just never really gave it much thought. Like, okay, I did it the right way. Oh, okay, I didn't do it the right way. But like, once you're able to perform all these like different techniques, you basically got like a floor of skill that's pretty high. Once you're established in that way, I'd say then you can start doing your own thing and be unique. Because if you're still learning, you kind of can't say like, I'm unique. It's more like, no, you're not really anything. But I think it's been enough time. I've played this game for a hell of a long time. I think I'm at a point. It probably has been for a little while now, but I'm at a point where I just do my own thing. And if I get criticism, that's totally fine. I understand people play this game their own way, and that's cool. Like, dude, I don't even know how this community exists. Like, this is a mod. Technically, it's a mod of a mod. This was a level mod originally that
yeah,
just got expanded. It's a mod of a mod of like a 15 or so year old game that somehow we have working and still talking about, still playing to this day. It's pretty crazy. So, I can respect all kinds of styles, to be honest. Um, and I just have my own thing going.
yeah. So to follow up with that, ironically, that's exactly how I used to play on Tony Hawk 4. Is like I would just go as fast as possible, spin everything right, and unpredictability was like second to that. For the most part.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I just wanted
I
to
mean,
look really cool and then and unique, just kind of like what you were saying.
I do appreciate the people like Drizzt, for example, who basically you can't tell if he's going forward or backward,
Yeah,
um, basically ever. I appreciate that, but that's just not my thing. I don't really care for it when I play the game.
sure. Yeah, and then that Tony Hawk 2. Now that you mentioned the was it heel flip varial lean? I remember. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
hold that. It's fucking crazy. Now that you mentioned, it. I remember doing that. Yeah, you can hold it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Another little thing about Tony Hawk 2 that was better.
yeah.
I'm
Fuck,
telling you,
dude,
man,
that's crazy.
the game is good.
Well, speaking of that, then is that your favorite trick, or do you have a different favorite trick?
Hip hop lean? No. Okay, I wrote this
Okay.
down because I actually today. Let me give you a little background. I knew we were going to do the podcast today, so I felt like, I don't know, a little nostalgic. I played every Tony Hawk game today
Oh
up
shit.
until Project 8, or not Project 8. I didn't play Project 8. I don't really. I played every Tony Hawk. Just checked out the physics, checked out the moves, um, and then I went skateboarding for like the first time in like 4 years today. It was really cool, but I hurt my leg pretty bad. Uh,
Fuck. All right.
The older you get, the more that fucking board really hurts when it hits you, man. Like, ugh. But it
Yeah.
was really fun. I had a blast. But I've definitely put it off for a couple of years because I was quite afraid to do a couple of tricks. But anyway, let me pull up the list real quick.
Yeah.
Going through the games. Let me see. Okay, so favorite trick. I definitely can't say like favorite trick overall. I have to categorize it. Like favorite manual trick. I
Yeah.
think I mentioned it earlier, but Muska Nose Manual is from Tony Hawk 2. It's really good. It's kind of like the same as a handstand, but instead of grabbing where the bolts are on the board,
Yeah.
you grab like the skater grabs the tails, the nose and the tail, and he does a nose manual, and it's just a really good animation. I don't know. I would appreciate it if they converted that at some point because I really like that trick. So that's favorite manual. Let me think. From Tony Hawk 3, there's a grab trick called Rodeo Clown, which, oh my God, this trick is awesome. It looks really ridiculous, but I think that's probably why it's so cool. It's basically like the swimmer. Do you know what the swimmer is?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like that. Like you grab the board, like you kind of lay down flat on it. Instead of like making a swimming motion with your arms, you grab it, and the longer you hold grab, your character does a like a roll. I don't know if I can describe it perfectly, but you basically roll continuously, like to the left or right, whatever it is. You just continue to roll and roll and roll. And so if you spin while rolling, it just looks like your skater is like doing a continuous 360 flip like with the board. It looks really cool.
Oh,
So
hey.
that's definitely my favorite like grab trick.
Fuck. All
Um,
right. I don't remember that at all. Which is pretty sad because I played the shit out of Tony Hawk 3, but just, offline.
oh, you don't, man, Rodeo kind of such a good.
I remember the name,
Um,
though, which is pretty funny. I remember the name, so. Rip.
yeah, so, well, you should check it out. It's
Fuck. I should play that again. Yeah. Play that PC modded
maybe I could
version
make
of
like
it.
a video of like favorite tricks throughout the series or something. Anyway,
Yeah, make a video of like all the
another one.
unique tricks specific to like one game.
I mean, Lick It Up is really cool too. It's like a very close second to Rodeo Clown is Lick It Up from Thug One. There's like the Kiss, Gene Simmons guy.
Yep.
Lick It Up is good. There's also, again, coming back to Tony Hawk 2, my favorite grind trick is called Benny Finger Flip Crook. I think it was like Jamie Thomas's special move, but I mean, you can have it on anybody, but Benny Finger Flip Crook, it was basically, if you know like the little secret combination in this game, the Benny Finger Flip, it was doing that while grinding, and then you just like stay in a crooked grind. It looked really cool.
Damn. All right.
That was a really good trick. I hope they can convert those. I know they probably have to use the Tony Hawk 2X tricks animations because that's kind of like from Tony Hawk 3 or 4's engine or something like that. Because they probably can't convert, Tony Hawk 2 animations. It probably is like
It'd
5
probably
joints in that skeleton.
it'd probably be a fucking bitch to do. Yeah.
It'd probably be way easier just to make it themselves at that point. I
Yeah,
don't know though.
probably. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say shit because I don't know anything about it. Even though I've talked to them, I still don't
You
understand
have
most
to.
of it.
Gon
Yeah.
would know for sure.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. It covers the grind, the air, and the manual. Are we missing anything?
What grab was Radio Clown? I think air trick.
Yeah, well, just the standard like air trick. Yeah.
That's hard. There's one called Spidey Varial, which was Spider-Man's special trick.
Oh
One
shit!
of
I
his.
remember that. Yeah.
It was called Spidey Varial because it couldn't fit the actual name in the text section. It was actually called Does Whatever a Spider Can, and he like shoots his web out, grabs his board, and it comes back. I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool. It's pretty similar to Grapple Grab actually, because people love that trick, and I think it's like honestly very similar.
Yeah. Fuck, I remember that a little bit too.
It's actually kind of interesting. There was Does Whatever a Spidey Can in Tony Hawk 2, and then there was Force Grab from Darth Maul in Tony Hawk 3, and then there was Grapple Grab in Tony Hawk 4, and they're all kind of the same trick, sort of. I mean, they're different, but like they all have like a board fly away from the skater and then come back.
Yeah.
So that might be my favorite air trick.
Cool. All right, let's get into videos. Favorite video and then video series, or if they're the same thing, that's fine too.
Do you mean video of mine or video of somebody else?
Let's do video of someone else and then series, and then let's see about yours, or we can do that later too. Because I mean, there's gonna be a little more things specific to you. Let's do that right now. So favorite video series, and then a favorite video of yours.
Okay, favorite video. I think at the moment, anyway. I mean, this might change, but
Yeah.
there's a video by Knit. It's basically just like a. I don't even know if it was like supposed to be like a super good video or anything. Maybe it was just like a compilation of clips, but it's called NITHPS. NITHPS, so the combination of THPS plus the word knit. Thug Improvs 2012. Like that video is just so good. It has a good song to match like the flow of the tricks and all that. He bails sometimes, but it doesn't even matter. Like it's just a good video. Like it looks like he had a lot of fun making it, and it's enjoyable to watch. He has really good flow, good style, and basically everything you need is in that video. And I just obviously I'm super biased towards Knit. I wonder why, right? So there's that fact. Also, his cast. This is kind of crazy. His cast looks almost identical to mine right now, but that wasn't even intended. My cast right now is a recreation of my American Wasteland cast, and I had actually never seen that cast of Knits until I saw the video, and I was like, dude, what? It's like almost identical.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know if you can like post a link or anything. Maybe I should or can't. I don't know, but it's a really good video. I like that video a lot.
Yeah, otherwise, the people that listen, you can just look it up. NITHPS 2012, you said?
It's NITHPS Thug. Let me see. NITHPS 1 Thug Improvs 2012.
Okay. There you go. I'll have to watch it because I don't remember it. If I've seen it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not even that long. It's like it's obviously not meant to be like a super crazy like SMG one. It's not supposed to be like some humongous awesome video. It's just like a video, and I think it's really good.
Cool. All right. How about like a series?
Series, okay, this is gonna be a stupid answer, and it's kind of like a non-answer. I'm sorry, because I can't actually like, I don't have an actual answer as to like which series of Tony Hawk videos I like the best. It's actually really hard. So I'll give you kind of like a joke answer, and that's Chadius and Magic Boy. I think Quad said that too, but I think it was really cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that?
I still haven't watched it. I know of it though.
It's stupid, but like I don't know, it was enjoyable. Like it was so corny and cheesy, like as a kid. But even so, like these guys were having fun, screwing around, making some like really terrible Thug 2 machinima. That like I don't know, there's some charm to it that I just appreciate. So I have to say that because like I can't parse through the hundreds of videos of Tony Hawk like which series is the best. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to do, for sure.
I mean, I could just say like, no, I can't. I don't know. I could say any video and people, I don't know. I have an answer to that. I'm sorry.
You kind of had one. All right. Like you can do favorite level overall, or you can break it down by game. That's totally up to you. I mean, if there's one level that sticks out specifically for you, that'd be awesome. And then creative.
I wonder what level is my favorite level.
Yeah, I want to say it's the one that we're in, but I could be wrong.
I want to say that too. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it is.
Why is this one? You're always playing this.
It's such a good level. Okay, first of all, this is going to be a long answer. If you don't want me to make it long, I won't. I can just tell you I like it and we can move on.
Let's do some sort of Cliff Notes version. There's got to be.
Okay.
Okay,
number one, I have a bias towards it because back in the day when I played Thug 2 online, like around, I think 2004, I don't know, something like that. I mean, I definitely played it in 2006, even though the game released in 2004. I played a lot of Thug 2 online. And being a total noob, like I was, at least to being online, I played the series. If you use like the color code, like the ability to type with colors, most levels froze as soon as you loaded them. And this level didn't, and so training didn't. I think Berlin froze. Pretty sure New Orleans froze. There was only a handful of levels you could play if you had like the / color code enabled. And so, of course, I wanted to show off how cool I was. I can type in color, so I only played the levels that let you type in color. It's really stupid, actually, thinking back on it. But whatever, that's what new players do. They like to show off, and that's fine. Also, basically, the group of people, which eventually became a clan, that I eventually joined, like always played Australia. They played Australia in caps, and that was basically it. And I didn't really question it. I liked Australia. Also, this level is like visually pleasing. There's like an ocean. It's constantly bright. I noticed that, like, kind of obvious. Of course, it's bright, but like, if you play a creator park, there's like 4 big light sections. If you look down at the ground, and like if you make the park really big, there's just dark areas in the corners, and I tend to just not like the dark areas. And like the brighter areas look good, but this entire level is bright, so maybe that contributes to it.
Sure.
Also, just like in terms of the geometry, like there's constant quarter pipes everywhere, which are close to walls, if not always attached to a wall. There's really, really, really easily bonkable big rails. There's multiple levels, so there's tons of walls. It's just really good. I mean, people say that about Manhattan. Like, Manhattan's a great level too, but I don't know. I just have a huge bias towards this level. I play this level probably more than anything else. And like, the more I play it, it's just the more I want to play it. I know, like, it's kind of stupid for me to say that, considering like I'm part of the group of people. It's like, when is Downtown coming out? When is Beverly Hills coming out? You know, I'm really stoked for those to come out, but I know I'm just gonna be playing this too.
Cool. All right. How about a favorite creative park?
It's hard to say. Whorehole was pretty cool for practicing whoring. I don't know if you've ever seen that before. It was a Thug 2 park.
I don't think so.
I can actually change level to a creative park, but I don't want to crash us because it reduces your frame rate pretty significantly.
Oh, really? What's it called? Is it one you made?
Oh no, I didn't make this. Well, you know, it was a park made by Evil God. I don't know if you know him. It's the one that has like the stacked boost walls and the stacked rails. Again, that thing will almost crash nearly anybody that can crash. And let me see, is Luke in here? No, Luke must have crashed. Well, we definitely crashed Luke if we change to it, that's for sure. There is a park. If you want me to, I can change to it. Basically, the clan. Wait, what?
I don't know. I mean, that's up to you. We could risk it, and then if you crash, we just restart and host Australia again or something.
Okay, maybe. Well, instead of going to that, I can give you a second answer, which is there was like a clan park made by Diablo. I'm not sure. Just do it. There was a clan park made by Diablo. I'm not sure if it was the same Diablo Fun. It might have been. He made it for like the clan that I was in Thug 2, and we just played that level constantly. It wasn't even that good in terms of like today's standards, but we liked it, so I'm pretty biased towards that. Let me see. Change level. I have to find the name. I hope I have it saved on here. Creative park. Okay, no, I don't actually have it. I think I might have changed out my save file recently, but I can look for it on my PC. I can see if I actually have the file in another folder. So give me a minute on that.
Sure. Do you still want to
by the way,
while you're doing that?
Oh, you can ask me a question. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you're up for multitasking. Since we're only like not even quarter way through these, so figured we would keep going. So you've had some influence on the game and helped with fixing bugs and making changes and suggestions. Like, what did you all do, and were they implemented completely the way you wanted them to be?
Sorry, can you repeat the end of that question again? I was just responding to it.
Yeah, so just seeing, like, were they implemented the way that you had wanted them to be, that, you know, you reported that this was happening and then it was fixed, and was it totally fixed?
Well, I can say, yeah, I've had a significant hand in the game, I'd say. I mean, props to the coders. It absolutely, you know, all the credit goes to, you know, Gon, Quaz, Morton. You know, all I can say is I've reported bugs and I've made suggestions and this, that, and the other. I can't say that I actually did anything, but to the extent that suggestions and reports count, yeah, I've done a lot. Let me think. I mean, I remember when I first discovered Thug Pro, dude, I went crazy with it. I couldn't believe it was real. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I thought the game had totally died. This was like 2013 when I found out about it, and I was like, oh my God, this is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. So of course I bothered the hell out of Quaz. I think he put me on ignore on Skype or something. Like, I just like, dude, you got to do this. And rightfully so. I probably messaged him like 100 things every time he like responded like with one sentence. I said like 100 things. So I was just, you know, geeking out so hard. And so that's probably why he like ignores me. But even so, like talking with Gon, talking with Morton, there's a lot of things that I've like tested, suggested back. Also, I don't know how to approach the subject matter, but you know, it's very sad. But Chase, unfortunately, no longer with us. I actually did a lot with him too back when he was on the team. We tested a lot of connections because back in the day, I think it was when you had to have like a login with a password and it had to get verified with an email or whatever. Do you remember that for Thug Pro?
No, I probably wasn't even around. I didn't start playing Thug Pro till end of 2017, early 2018.
Okay, I guess you could call it like the alpha. Like basically when this whole mod started, to play at all, you had to like have an email verification thing. And sometimes it would fail, so people couldn't play, even though they wanted to, even though they were accepted by the email thing. Let me see. There was a lot of problems with that back in the day, and so I did a lot of like testing with Biohacker, basically Chase, and he would just send me files, just like, okay, run this, click this, type this, do this, test. We just do that over and over just to test the connections, because a lot of times people couldn't join rooms, so that was a pretty huge issue. I like to say I helped with it. Obviously, he was doing all the coding, all the work is on his side, but I like to help out if I can because like this game is awesome. So if I can help it do better, I want to do that. Let me think. I there is a certain technique I like to use a lot. Guess what it is?
BHRA?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
here's the thing. I'm sure that was going to come eventually. Like, you know, making the suggestion, hey, you should add all the levels. It's probably like the most frustrating thing the devs can hear. So like, it's not very useful and it's not unique. It's not interesting. They already want to.
Yeah.
But I remember at some point, was it like 2014, 2015? I don't know what it was. But Quaz probably was finally like ready to talk to me after my multiple spam messages. And at one point he said like, all right, can you do something for me? I was like, sure. He said, can you like document like all the lighting problems in the levels? I think this was before the nighttime was put in the game, I think.
Okay.
Not perfect on that. You sent us a bunch of screenshots. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. So Nevada knows. He said you sent us a bunch of screenshots. Yeah, I documented like a bunch of screenshots of lighting bugs. Like there were lights that were on that weren't supposed to be, that kind of thing. And Quaz was really appreciative of that. And basically he asked me, hey, like the next update's coming out pretty soon. Is there anything you want me to put in it? I was like, oh my God, now's my chance. Like, is there anything that I want to be put in this game? Yeah, only about 1,000 things.
Yeah.
But I was really excited because I was like, all right, I got to choose wisely here. I was like, can you add those land pivots from Thaw? You know, just the ability to do a pivot when you land. And he's like, sure, that's easy. I was like, all right. And so like maybe a week or a month or whatever, I don't know. When the next patch came out, he added that. And guess what? You can do BHRAs, the thaw version now, which I was so stoked on because I think those add like a dimension of gameplay that no other game in the series has.
Right. So out of all the things that you had suggested, is there like a top thing that stands out to you that you had the devs implement?
In terms of like things that were already going to come, probably like BHRA, I'd say it's BHRA. But in terms of like minor things that were never really part of the series, I recently suggested to Morton to put like a number associated with each hue, saturation, and value for like when you're scaling and making like, you know, your shirt different colors, stuff like that. Because that never was part of the series, but like it's kind of frustrating to create a skater and to be like, oh, I want my scales to be the same, or oh, I want to tell my friend like what the color of my shirt is, whatever. But you couldn't really do it because there was no way. Like, oh yeah, it's just a couple of button pushes to the right and then to the left. Like you couldn't really describe it. But now that there's numbers associated with it, you can say, oh, my color is 15, 25, 98, you know, and then you have the perfect reproduction of like the color, the scales, you name it. So that was pretty cool. That was never part of the series. So I was pretty happy to see that.
That's a pretty good idea for sure.
This was never part of the series, but I think I told Morton this, or maybe Gone. I think it was Gone. I don't know. This was many years ago, so I don't actually remember. But one thing I was really stoked on was the ability to choose your jump trick, which is like, you know, your boneless, fast plant, bean plant, or Mike V boneless.
Is that the one that Drizzt used all the time? The Mike V one?
I guess so, yeah. But the thing is, in the game, you were never able to choose that. It was always like a default. I think like in Tony Hawk 3, the default was like fast, and then in like Tony Hawk 2, it was bonus or something. But you were never able to choose. But I was like, hey, those are all in the game. Can we please choose? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I remember Don made it in like 5 seconds. He left the created park. He joined back in the room. He's like, hey, I can do them all now. I'm like, dude, awesome. So that was cool. There's probably a long list of this, but I don't want to get too far into it, unless you want to. I think
do a
those
couple
are like
more.
the top answers.
Because, you know, some of these things people might not even know about. Like, if they're watching, they might not know you could do some of these. So you may as well, like, a couple more if you want.
Okay. I recall at some point with Quaz, I demonstrated to him that there was a part of a certain level which couldn't really function. This was part of school too, but it kind of represented a greater issue. There used to be a large cooldown in between your ability to do sticker slaps or wall plants. Like it was like maybe like 0.75 seconds, or maybe it was like a second and a half. I don't really know, but it was long. Like if you went from one wall to another, you couldn't sticker slap or wall plant up. You know how people like go in between buildings and stuff?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
That wasn't possible. Yeah, there was too long of a cooldown. Like the game did not let you perform another one for like another half second. And so he greatly reduced that. I think that was Quaz. I just said, hey man, like, you know, if you don't mind, maybe change this. And he did. And so that was great. I really appreciate them listening, because I'm sure they get flooded with BS every day. So
yeah, you're right.
You know,
it probably
hey!
was Quaz, yeah.
I think it was, yeah. And I really appreciate him for listening, because I know I bothered the hell out of that guy. So bad.
Yeah, he gets. Even I've asked him shit. I'm like, bro, put this in, do this. It's probably like, Jesus Christ. Like, imagine trying to like, I don't know, prioritize all that shit, and let alone implement it. You know, that'd be like impossible.
Imagine not getting paid.
Yeah, not getting paid
like...
either. Jesus Christ. Yeah,
that's the funniest part of it, to be honest.
Yeah, gotta bow down to them.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate them, for sure.
Yeah, well, let's go on. Kind of a little more specific towards you two would be, other than improv and transfers, are there any other things you like to do when playing online?
Improv and transfers. I don't really do transfers, and to some people's descriptions, I don't even do improv. So I don't know what I do.
Sure. What's something that you like to do that, you know, other than doing what you normally do, which is play this level and do style and all sorts of crazy shit?
Yeah, good point. If it counts, a lot of times Alec and I, for example, we've done like screen share and like made caps together. That's pretty fun. I don't know if that counts as playing online, because you're online and you're playing, but you're not really playing the game online. But that's an answer. I like making parks together. We don't do that too much anymore, but like that is very fun. So making parks, sometimes I just get on to talk, like I'm too tired to actually play the game. But I just talk with people, or I watch. Like OBOB is really fun. I've gotten into that recently with Luke and Puke. And even Jens. I got Jens to do it the other day. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I used to like kind of be afraid of OBOB, because there's just like this weird observer effect that sometimes happens to people. Like it doesn't happen to Alec apparently, but it happens to me, it happens to Buck, it happens, at least Buck said it happens to him. It happens to Nevada. I know that, like, if you know someone's watching you, you can do something 100 times in a row, but then observe me. Oh, and I can't do it anymore. You know, and that used to be a problem, but now I just do OBOB all the time. And I have a lot of fun with it. Like I've kind of gotten over that, and I just really enjoy it. So OBOB is definitely an answer to that question.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the creative park thing, yeah, I mean, that's still a good answer. I don't know many people that make parks together, you know, via screen share. So it's a cool idea, though.
Yeah, I think let me think. Talking is pretty cool. I mean, the game serves as a platform for people to like come together who are probably pretty different and far away. And just talking alone is pretty cool. I mean, I remember having conversations on Pug 2, you know, that ended up in friendships that lasted a long time. I had nothing to do with the game. So talking is a big one, I'd say.
Yep. Yeah, talking. That's what we're doing right now. Talking. Yeah,
true.
Talking's always been a huge part of it, for sure.
By the way, am I coming through clearly? I'm still with the headset right now. Is it all right?
Yeah, whatever you're using is working just fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Like if I get up to get water, can you? I'm not trying to like. I don't know. It just if I'm filling up with water right now. And if I drink it, can you hear it? I'm not trying to like have you hear every single thing I do. I
Like
don't know if it's
goo
too loud.
goo goo. Yeah, no, you're fine. Um,
Okay, cool.
so let's move on. So if you could change or add anything on Thug Pro, what would it be?
Well, let me get up the list of 1,000 things again.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, a ton, but like, so I gotta say, like, I'm really grateful. Oh yeah, I knew Nevada would say this. Bert Slide. I knew he'd say that. Um, I know you don't have chat on, but I knew he would say that immediately. Yeah, Bert Slide's pretty cool.
Oh, is he chatting in the game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should turn it on now. It's whatever.
What is? Am I gross? But anyway, uh, what to add? Dude, there's so many things I want to add. Where do I begin? Um, First, let's get all the necessary ones out of the way. All the levels, all the tricks, all the techniques, like Tony Hawk 4 boost, or not. I'm sorry, what's it called? What's the thing in Tony Hawk 4, like the wall ride boost plant thing? Like, you do a wall ride, you go into a manual, and then you do a boost.
Oh, like the manual boost plant?
There you go. Okay, that's it. Manual boost plant. Yeah, that'd be
Mm-hmm.
cool. Um, like maybe the American Wasteland flat or what's it? Parkour. That's what it's called. Maybe though. I don't know. That's kind of goofy to me. That's kind of getting. It's kind of jumping the shark at that point. Like just being able to spam backflip. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But maybe they should have that. So all that out of the way. Let me see. I have like a. I think I have like a text document of all these. Give me one. Oh well. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time trying to find that, but BHRA after zero is huge. I've been bugging Morton about that for a couple of years now. Uh, I would really like that. I mean, it's kind of in line with the way Thug One operated. In Thug One, you could just land and do a boneless, and you would restart a combo after zero, and it would just keep going. Like you could just make new combos happen. There was double tap. I know they don't want to add that, and I respect that because double tap is just stupid. You can get 1,000,000,000 points in any level.
Yeah.
It has a grind rail. Let me think.
So would the BHRA just continue your combo then? Is this like so it would keep the trick string and everything going, or are you thinking just it would still end the combo but it would start a new one?
I'm fine with either iteration. Either it ends the combo and starts a new one, but you're able to keep playing, or
Okay.
continues the combo. Either or, I'm fine with. But that's just a personal one. Let me think. What is this guy saying? It's gonna be gross. 1 second, sorry. I haven't had to check these things all the time. 1 second. That guy's being weird. All right. Okay. So, sorry. Back to the things to add.
Yeah.
To think about this. There's a lot of things to say. Vert slide is definitely a cool one, but I'm sorry, Nevada. It's not my personal interest. BHA after zero. I think all the text, all the levels. Oh, here's one that's of my personal interest. All of the deck graphics from like Tony Hawk 4 and like Underground 1. I think like having deck graphics was so cool. That was a big thing in Tony Hawk 1 and 2 specifically. Like you could unlock new decks and it just looked awesome. I loved having like a really colorful skateboard because I don't know. Even when I was a little kid skateboarding, like I loved having like a really colorful board and just a lot of variety. And like the old deck graphics look really cool, like the zero decks with like, the skulls, the birdhouse ones with like those birds in the faces. There's Baker skateboards, which had a lot of variety in them. So deck graphics is one. Also, I've been talking with Edom a bit. He, as as you may know, has been working on his like Thug Pro Plus mod. I'm not sure if he's continued to work on it, but he has a lot of really, really good ideas. Some of them I don't agree with, like the wire flip thing. Like when you hang onto a pole, like you do continuous flips, like you're in Jack and Daxter, and I don't really like that. But
Yeah.
whatever, you know, if you like that, you like that. But dude, oh my God, he enabled like the coolest stuff. I was talking with him pretty extensively when he was working on it. Again, I don't know if he still is, but he was adding things like triple tap grabs, like triple flips. Like you could basically do, let me think. You could do like a varial kick flip, single tap, that's normal. Double tap becomes a 360 flip, that's normal. But you could triple tap it and it become a 540 flip. Now that's typically only a special now, but in his mod you could do that, and I thought it was really, really cool.
Yeah,
Or you could do like triple tap grab like do Japan and then Japan 1 foot Japan, and then the triple tap was like Bam Bam Air or something like that. It was really cool. Like the animations really flowed together. Like we talked about it for a while. So maybe some variation of that. I showed it to Morton and I showed it to Gon, and I like screen shares. Like look at like all this cool like innovative stuff. You can like triple tap, you know, triple tap flip, triple tap grab. It was just really cool. Also, he added this amazing thing. If you did like a Casper flip, like on the ground doing a manual, the exit animation would have was the Casper 360 flip air trick animation, which looks really good. Another part of Tony Hawk 2, by the way, it had that. It was another shout out to Tony Hawk 2 being the best game. It's a really, really good looking animation. Like your character does a Casper 360 flip after you end the Casper trick. I don't know if you've seen Rodney Mullen videos. I mean, if you played this game, you must have seen them at some point. But like, he does them constantly in his videos, where he's doing a Casper on the ground and he does a 360 flip out. Do you know what I'm talking about there?
Oh yeah, when he throws it around and then lands on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Kind of a more specific. I mean, this is going to be a really hard thing to add, but like even more specific than like, oh, this triple tap grab or this triple tap flip that didn't exist previously. The ability to customize every single iteration of your grabs and flips. Like currently, I think, like take any example, like Stalefish becomes Stalefish Tweak, right? When you double tap it.
Yeah.
Well, why not just make like Stalefish become Benihana? I mean, the animation might clip and it might look weird, but in my opinion, like, who cares? Like, we're already doing like, you know, triple wall ride bounces to Fate Hot, you know, whatever. So, does it really matter? I think more customization is better, personally. But maybe there'd be a problem with that. I know Morton doesn't want to add like too much goofy stuff like no out of bounds cheats where you can just walk around in the background. Like, I understand that. He wants to have it more of a streamlined kind of game-like situation. But I think being able to customize the tap variations of each trick, that would be huge. I would really, really appreciate that. That would probably be really difficult. And the last thing I'll say, I don't want to like take too long for this question, but in American Wasteland, you could do what I'd say is a sort of a vertical, not wall plant, but like vertical wall plants and vertical sticker stops and wall plants. Basically, if you're going off a quarter pipe, and like, you know how you can collide with a wall like in the air when you're traveling like left or right in the air. You know what I'm talking about?
Briefly, I guess I kind of can. It's weird, but I can kind of mentally visualize it.
Okay, well, just observe me real quick.
Yeah, we're watching.
I'll just show you real.
Yeah.
Okay, just very small thing, but if you travel off a quarter pipe into a wall like this, see, I hit the wall.
Yeah.
You would be able to do a wall plant or a sticker slap during like the sideways air.
Oh, sure.
You know
Instead of having to hold R2 and hit at that specific angle. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't actually do it unless you press R2, unless you level out. But if you're inverted like that, in American Wasteland, you could do it. And there's just been so many times when I've been trying to get clips where I realized, like, man, if I had that, that would have been so cool. Like, that's a really big thing. Like, it might seem kind of small, but you know, I like small quirky things, changes like this. So I would really appreciate that too. That to be added. I don't know how difficult it would be to add that.
Probably harder than we can imagine. Yeah, they could do it. You never know.
I hope so, man. That's a really cool thing to me.
Yeah, cool. Well, kind of bouncing around somewhat, but you had said you did skate in real life. How serious did you take it, and what tricks could you do?
I was never never a pro skater, that's for sure. Basically for the first like 4 years, I was absolutely terrible. I just rode around. But around middle school, like sixth, seventh grade, is when I really started to get kind of like semi-serious. I remember like Christmas of seventh grade, actually, Christmas Day, I landed my first kickflip, and I was so happy about it. I was like, yes, yes, finally. And like from that moment, I learned a lot of tricks really quickly. Like I could do a varial kickflip, double kickflip. That was really fun because they look so cool. When you think heel flip, eventually, like high school, I could do a frontside shove it. Those are actually kind of hard sometimes. I don't know.
Isn't a heel flip hard too?
I mean, you have a high chance of getting credit carded, at least in my experience, where like you basically land on the board standing up and it goes up your something else, and
Yeah,
it hurts really bad.
yeah.
But it's
Fuck
not
all
actually that
that.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. It took me a long time to do 360 flip. I don't know why. I guess I was just like a weak middle school kid. I don't know. I couldn't do it. But in high school, I learned how to do a 360 flip, and I was like, hell yeah, this is sick. Like, I was really happy about that. 360 flip in college, actually. I didn't skate that much, but during college, I could actually do a 540 flip. That was like my big claim to fame. It was just a 360 flip with an extra spin, and I was like, hell yeah, this is like the coolest trick I can do.
That would be
So
hard,
540
dude. A 540 flip.
flip, it is.
Can you consistently do them?
I did two in a row one time, so I was stoked about that. I couldn't do them every time. Like,
Yeah,
it wasn't as easy as kickflip.
that's starting to get to some pretty crazy shit.
I
I don't
mean, yeah,
skate personally,
I was,
but I know a lot
I
of
was really stoked on it.
my high school buddies. Like, yeah, that would be something they'd brag about for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like that was you really had to whip that thing around with your back foot. Like that was pretty intense. Um, the 540 flip. I would also mess around with like manuals and stuff. Honestly, like the most fun trick to me is just like a 20-second, 30-second manual. Like when you hold a manual, it's just so fun, and it just feels really good just to be like to manual across an entire parking lot. Like that's fun.
Could you ever nose manual?
Yeah, it's harder for sure, but
Yeah.
eventually I got the hang of it. I mean, if you can nollie, you can essentially nose manual. Let me think. I would do stuff like flat ground stuff because I absolutely adored Rodney Mullen. Like I tried Caspers and stuff.
Ooh.
I got some. What?
Isn't that hard? Like to do like a manual into a Casper would be like really hard, wouldn't it?
It is, but I mean, especially today, you can just Google how to do it like YouTube.
Sure.
I eventually could do truck stand, but I could only hold it for like a second, and that I don't know. I kind of cheesed it. It wasn't like an actual like. I didn't look like Rodney Mullen. Let's just say that. Like I tried it. Sometimes I like set up like off the board first. I was really trying to like do what he could do. Like I loved his handstands. I tried those.
Dude, that's got to be
I could never
hard.
get to his point.
The handstand, just fucking skating and then going on your hands on the board? That'd be fucking ridiculous. Without touching the ground?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's not that difficult. If you can do a handstand off the board, as long as you're used to the momentum of a skateboard, you can do a handstand on the board. I mean, the hardest part is putting your feet back on without them touching the ground. That's very hard. But just to do a handstand in general, if you're a little kid, it's not too difficult to do a handstand. I don't know if I can do it anymore, but and I never really did grinds. Like me and my brother had a grind reel in our driveway. Like I could do like board slide, no slide, but like 50-50s are really difficult. I don't know. For me, I would always eat shit doing a 50-50. That was I was scared to hell of doing 50-50s because you just gain so much speed and it just flies out from under you and you land on the rail. It hurts. So I couldn't really do many grinds. I did some stairs, but not like a ton. Like I never did tricks downstairs. Like those are always just like too much fear involved.
Yeah, fuck that.
Like again, like I never went crazy with it, but like I could do a lot of flat ground stuff. Like I guess you can consider a 540 flip a flat ground trick. I don't know, but I would do them going eventually. Like it's one thing to do it standing still, but to do it going is like a real way to see like okay, I can do it. Like to do a kickflip in the grass, it's standing still. That's one thing. But to do a kickflip while moving, like moving pretty fast, that's when you can actually do it. You know what I mean?
Right. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, I never got into skateboarding. I did BMX. But even then, I never started doing crazy tricks because, man, you fuck up and you could really mess your body up. I was just like, there's no way I can do all that.
Well, let me tell you something about that, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you ever get injuries?
Oh, from skateboarding? Hell yeah, tons. But actually, It's funny you mentioned BMX. I haven't skated in like until today for like 4 years, and like I went outside around my neighborhood just skating. Some dude comes out, I was like, "Yo, man, I saw you on your board. Like, I had to get my bike out. I haven't done this in forever." I was like, "Hell yeah!" So like, actually, I have a new friend, so that's cool. That tends to happen with skateboarding. Like, you make friends really fast, especially at skate parks. Like, I don't know if you ever like skated when you were younger, but like if you go into a skate park and like you and some kids were there, you can make friends really quickly.
Yeah, well, I went there on BMX bike and they hated me because it was a skate park, right? But you could also technically BMX on it, so they'd get all pissed off when the BMXers are fucking rolling around in circles. But
I mean, I respected bikers because like if you fall on that, you're gonna get
destroyed. Yeah, I mean the height you can get off that shit is crazy versus a skateboard.
Like I think the worst bail on a bike is 100 times worse than the worst bail on a skateboard. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's just the height, man.
I know one thing that like obviously like everybody has respect for each other to an extent at like a skate park, but the most hated group is probably inline skaters. Nobody likes them.
Oh yeah. Well, then second to those Razor scooter fuckers.
Oh my god, I forgot completely about that.
Dude.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, actually, hold on. In Virginia Beach, where I grew up, there was eventually there was a skate park made at a place called Mount Trashmore, which is just like a giant like park. Like I think it used to be a landfill, but it was just converted into like this really nice big mountain of trash. But like you couldn't tell there was trash. It was like it's actually really cool. They turned something really disgusting into something really awesome. They put a skate park there eventually, and I saw this like 8-year-old kid, you know, like probably just put his pacifier down, and he could drop in on this huge half pipe on his Razor scooter and do like a I don't know, what is that move called? Like the shove it thing, that's like a tail whip, or I don't know what a scooter trick.
Yeah, it'd be like equivalent to just a tail whip, yeah.
Dude,
you can whip out like 2, 3, 4 of them. Yeah.
It's kind of like goofy to be on a scooter, I guess, but dude, scooters, like that takes mad skill. I would never drop in on a quarter pipe.
Oh my god, there's no way. Yeah, the balance you need on that would be crazy too. I mean, dude, and if you fuck that up, that bar hitting you like in the chin.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That'd be
like skaters like to complain like you hit yourself in the shin with like your board when you're doing like a kickflip or whatever, and it hurts really bad. Dude, it doesn't hurt anything as bad as like a metal thing swinging around. Like,
oh my
that thing hurts probably like 10 times as much. I gotta say I respect that, even if it's like goofy looking.
Yeah, the reason I mentioned the chin bail is because I saw some poor bastard at the skate park just ate shit, landed chin on that fucking bar after hitting the pretty big gap. Dude, the ambulance was there within like a few minutes. It was fucking like his face. Oh my god, dude, it's I don't even want to think of it. It just hurts me to think of that guy's face. He definitely had to have broken his jaw. Like his jaw was for sure broken. Yeah, it's terrible.
Always got to get the clips, man. Well, here's the thing. This is kind of disgusting and really sad, but do you remember like the articles that came out around like the early 2000s? Like parents were like dying trying to teach their kids how to scooter. Do you remember that? I'm not kidding.
No.
Dude, I heard of something like on the news, like parents dying, like trying to teach child how to skate. It's like, how can you die from that? I didn't know you could. Like, what do you have to do? Just Google it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll check.
I know. Like, I've never heard of someone dying on a bike or on a skateboard, but on a scooter?
Yeah, on a scooter. I don't doubt it though, because those kids are super young too, and they probably aren't. They're like casuals, but trying to do cool shit. I don't know. It kind of makes sense, you know. I don't know. So let's just.
I guess it's like the pole could impale you.
What's that?
Like the pole could just impale you, you know?
Yeah, dude. No, I'll have to look that up. I didn't hear about that.
I'm not trying to like bring in the negativity, but like Ugh.
Damn.
Props to scooter riders.
Scooter riders, yeah.
Scooter for crucifixion. Oh my
Scooter
God.
backflip, no foot backflips on a scooter. That's fucking crazy. So what was your favorite trick you could do then?
Probably just the hardest one, which was 540 flip.
Yeah.
That was, well, actually, I'm sorry. Manuals are my favorite trick because they're the most fun. They were just, if you like went to the Virginia Beach boardwalk, if you know what that looks like at all, Google that, I guess. Manualing like the giant blocks, like on the pier, they were just really fun. Manuals are so fun to do. There's like the simplest trick, but if you can hold one for like a minute, like really, really long, it's so much fun. But beyond that, 540 flip for sure.
Have you ever luged downhill?
No.
Just laid on your skateboard and went downhill? That's the only thing I've ever done on a skateboard.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like actual luge. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was kind of fun. Get some speed on the skateboard laying down on it. Total noob, obviously, but cool. So let's get back to Tony Hawk, or well, it might not necessarily be just Tony Hawk, but where did your name come from, and were you always known as Grand?
On Tony Hawk, yeah, I've always been known as Grand. It's just when I started to play the game online, like I said, I think I was in middle school, pretty sure, yeah, like seventh grade or something like that. And it was just like a combination of first name, last name, letters. It was kind of like our school had the same sort of system for like our school computer login. It was something pretty similar to that. So it was just like a hyphenated, shortened version of like parts of my actual name. So
fair
it
enough.
was just kind of a real word came out of it. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's always cool.
But yeah, I've always been known as Grand on here.
Always on there. Okay. What do you have anything else you use for other games? Like a troll username?
Yeah. Let me think. Yeah, I have other usernames. I think actually my Steam account might be Grand. I think that actually, and maybe, yeah, I think there's the WoW name. Oh yeah, yeah. Grand's not really a WoW name, I guess. But
wait, it sounds like you're playing. I'm going to go back to spectating here. Yeah, you're playing. I was watching your teammate Puke play. He's fucking pretty good, this guy.
Dude, I know.
Yeah,
it's crazy,
I was like, Jesus. Yeah.
You mean Luke, not or sorry, Puke, not Luke, right?
Puke, yeah, Puke. I was watching him. He did some pretty cool shit.
Oh yeah, Luke is good too, for sure. But dude, yeah, Puke. Whenever I watch Puke, I'm just like, what did I just watch? Like, are we playing the same game?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we kind of covered this somewhat, but we can just kind of re-clarify the progression of the game. So you knew about whoring, and then you got introduced to like more of the improv stuff by that Bigo person, and kind of took it more seriously from Knit. Is that pretty much where like? Is that pretty much how you want the progression to kind of be laid out? And of course, you had inspiration from Buck and a couple other players. But is there anything else we should know about the progression for you?
Yeah. I was just played the games casually growing up. Got online, realized I was not as good as I thought in comparison to everybody else, and that's pretty standard. Got introduced to improv and like whoring, like actual details of whoring, not just like get a lot of points. It was more like, hey, don't use grind tricks, or if you do, don't really use them that much. Use tons of air tricks. Always spin, always flip and roll, always do this. Try not to revert. Like he actually told me the details of whoring, not just score big points, don't fall. So I was introduced to whoring and improv by Gand, and then later on, still playing casually, like, oh, that's cool, but whatever. Still playing casually up until like 2010, 2011. And then I played with Knit on Thug 1 on like the Bob server. And he really like got me into it. I was like, wow, that looks really cool. Like, yeah, I don't even care about score anyway. So like, this is really cool actually. Like, doing techniques. Because, whenever you see a boost plant for the first time, you're like, that is awesome. I have to do that.
Yeah.
Like that is just, I can't not do that. Like, that's kind of like a Pandora's box thing. Like I have to be able to do that. And like, he really taught me a lot. So after like learning from Knit, I went on playing, I guess, my own way, and then seeing videos of really good players, specifically, of course, Buck. Playing with Buck, just being brutal, but honest. Like, okay, here's how you get really good, and like here's what he does. It was always good to watch him play and like hear his feedback because he's super knowledgeable about this game. Like, people might have their opinion about Buck the person, but Buck the player is extremely good and extremely knowledgeable. There is no denying that. If you don't think that's true, you're simply wrong. He's like one of the best players that has ever played this game. And so getting to talk to him after seeing his videos was like humongously helpful.
Yeah. I think that covers it pretty good up to where you're at now. I mean, I guess now it would kind of be like your inspiration for playing and getting better. Like what's keeping you going?
Basically the same thing that did before, I guess, was just seeing people do crazy stuff. Seeing people do stuff I never thought about. I still do casual play. Like I just get on for anywhere from like 5 minutes to like an hour or whatever, sometimes more, sometimes less. And I just play around, and sometimes I do something completely new I've never done before, Like I do a wall ride bounce that I didn't think was possible, or I go through some wall, or I do some certain thing at some certain speed. So casual play leads to a lot of like inspiration, but also like seeing other people play. Like seeing Ghost do crazy transfers like in SMG1, like, Ghost is really good at transfers, for example. He just joined the game, actually. Ghost is really good. There's a lot of good players. Jens is good. He's in the room. Puke is good. Sorry, Zach, I don't know who you are. I don't know who that other person is. Mistafreeze, that guy sucks. Bob Ross. Okay, so mastering the quick turn. Yeah, just watching other players and seeing what they can do is always like a source of inspiration. Also finding, like kind of like Nevada just mentioned, finding new techniques has always been really fun. It's very hard because this game has basically been mapped out completely, but I do look for them, and I have found a couple of them.
Yeah, and we'll get into those right after this one. I think, did you cover like who influenced the gameplay? I mean, is there, again, it's kind of the same type of thing as the progression aspect, but is there other people that have influenced the way you play right now that you haven't mentioned?
Well, when you say influence, do you mean like have caused me to play in a different way, or like
Yes.
people I try to emulate?
Yeah, well, both, I guess. Yeah.
That's tough. Like I can't say like I definitely play like this person or this. It's hard to say.
But borrowed elements, I guess, from others. I mean, if not, that's fine too. Because I mean, like I say, or you could have forgotten.
I'll just say this: like I can say I'll try to emulate people. I don't know if I actually successfully pull it off, but there are bits and pieces of people's style that I like. Like, let me just take an example. Like Buck presses a lot of buttons per second, and it's really impressive. And he lands stuff, and it's not just like random ollies. It's actually like really, really impressive, like big tricks. Jens kind of does the same thing. He does like a lot of tricks in the air. It's like, how did he land that? I thought he was going to bail, but he does a ton of tricks like all at once, and he does like really good style with it. Nit has just like, that sounds cheesy, Nit flow. He has really good flow. I just like watching Nit play. There's a lot of people. I mean, I know I've kind of said Buck and Nit a lot, but there are definitely more people than just them who have like I've appreciated. Aaron is really fun to watch. He always does kind of off the wall stuff in his videos, Even Luke, like Luke is good. Like Luke he does stuff you don't expect him to do, and it's really, really cool. Like I always enjoy watching Luke play. Like Luke just does things kind of effortlessly. Like when we're doing like OBOB, and he just pulls out stuff that I'm like, wow, you just did that. I didn't think that was possible. So just a handful of people, really. Konek is really good too, that's for sure. Alek is really good, obviously. I'm probably missing some people here. I feel bad for like not remembering. Q Levy is good. People don't give him enough credit. I haven't talked to him in a while. Let me.
Sure, but like these are people that are good, but you're not necessarily borrowing elements from them.
Okay, I guess I guess specifically to answer that question.
I'm just curious.
I would hope to copy as much as possible elements from Nit, elements from Buck, and Brazbot. He's really good too. Probably him. I try to emulate him a lot. He's very, very good.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say like, this person plus this person plus this person equals me. Like, obviously that's just me trying to do that, but it doesn't mean that that's actually what the result is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and at the end of the day, you want to be you. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. What clans have you been in? What is the current one, and what's the lineup of this current one? And is it your clan? I didn't know if it was your clan. So.
Okay, so a couple of questions there.
Yeah.
Clans I've been in, I was never interested in clans, really. Like at the beginning, I always thought like, okay, that's cool, but whatever. I never really had an interest in them. But then, like back on late Thug 2, there was a group of people that just played together. Again, Australia a lot. There's this park that I mentioned, like they played this clan park a lot. It was not even like group of improvers, or it wasn't horrors. It was just a random assortment of people. Some people just hacked the game. Like all they wanted to do was make new codes. Some people made parks and that's all they wanted to do. Some people played graffiti and nothing else. That was kind of funny. Let me think. It was called IS. It stood for Infinite Supremacy, which pretty elitist name, I have to say.
Right.
But I was really proud to be part of that because it was just like a really cool group of people that we just always had a good time when we played together. It wasn't like, let's make a video, let's prove we're the best. It was just like, we like chilling and it's really fun to play this game and we like playing together. So that's what that was. I didn't really have any interest to join any clan after that until I watched a lot of like videos online, and what do you know, Mitt and Buck were in the same clan, Flow. So I was like, I'd like to be in that clan because those people are awesome, but I didn't ever really push it like I wanted it, just because like, man, that would be so cool to be on the same team with those guys. But I didn't like, I don't know, who was the leader, like Iron or Bombs, or I don't know who was the leader of Flow. I never really pursued it. I never really asked them like, hey, can I join? I just kind of like thought about it and didn't really do anything about it. And now we have, like, again, I said I'm not really into clans, but the same sort of perspective of just like, hey, here's a cool group of people I like playing with. Why don't we just make a team? Because everybody else is doing it. Like, why not?
Yeah.
And so I've been talking about this with Nevada for a long time. Same with, not as long, but quite a long time too with Luke. And we just came up with GTK, that's the current clan. And I don't really see myself as the leader because I remember I was talking with Nevada and Luke about this. Like, I get the idea of having a leader, but at the same time, like, what does it mean to be like a leader of a group of friends? Kind of a weird thing. Again, I get having a leader. It makes sense. It's like there's one person to call the shots, but I don't know. I mean, I made the Discord. If that counts, sure, then me. But otherwise, I don't see myself as like, I'm in charge. You have to do what I say. That kind of.
Yeah. And so, were you ever in B-Goat?
Oh, I wanted to be. I forgot. I'm sorry. I remember I played with Gamb a lot. Like, I would try to find glitches with him. I completely forgot about that. Sorry. Was I in it? No. Did I want to be? Yes. But like,
Okay.
I was more proud of being in IS than anything else. I thought B-Goat was like a fun little thing to be in, and like I thought it was cool to have multiple clan tags. I know a lot of clans don't like that, but I thought it was like cool to have like 3 clan tags, see if you can fit it.
Right.
B-Goat has a memory that you were in B-Goat. I remember I posted a lot on the B-Goat website at some point, and I remember I found a glitch that they put on the website, which I was pretty proud of. But I posted on the website. I don't think I was ever in it. At least I wasn't told that I was in it. But yeah, so the current lineup, GTK, is me, Fada, Luke, and Puke. You know, we are in no rush to expand. We might get more people here and there. It's just about like having a good time, kind of like my old clan was. It wasn't my old clan; it was somebody else. It was a guy named Valo. He played Thug 2 basically exclusively. He was the leader of IS. And does that answer the question? I don't know if I missed it.
Yeah, no. What's it stand for?
Oh, Infinite Supremacy. Again, very elitist sounding.
No, the GTK.
Oh, actually, here's the fun thing. It doesn't actually have an acronym. Like, we came up, go to kitchen. Okay, there it is. Go to kitchen. I think that's what Jen said actually the other day. Go to kitchen. It doesn't have like an exact acronym.
Okay.
I mean, because in a sense, you got to have fun with it. Like, I know Flow is full lead online. TLT is the line tub. EX is element 0. Gay turtle killers. There's another one. You just said that. Gay turtle killers. I guess that's us. And so I think it's cool to have like an acronym, I guess, but it doesn't have to have one. And I figured, why not just have multiple or have none? You know, it's I think also the what's cool about clan names is like the pronunciation of the acronym itself. Like Flow is really cool because FLO, like it's pronounceable. Flow.
Yeah.
Some like EX, it's not really pronounceable. TLT is definitely not pronounceable, but TLT kind of just sounds cool. I think everybody that plays this game probably agrees with that. Like TLT just sounds cool as a clan name by itself.
Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue good. Yeah.
Yeah, clan names like Jehu or Jew, I don't know about that. That doesn't really sound. Oh my God, Ghost just came up with Grandma Teaches Kindergarten. Yeah, that's our clan. Oh my God.
I like it. Grandma teaches kindergarten.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Gay Tabby. Okay, not reading that. Yeah, so we actually have a section in our Discord just for coming up with new acronyms for the clan name.
Nice. Just get like 100
That's
of
kind of
them.
fun. But it's kind of cool. I think GTK just sounds cool in general. It's three harsh consonants in a row. You know what I mean? GTK. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's cool. Oh yeah, puke greater than kings. That's kind of cool. That was one of the ones. Jens was supposed to think of one. Jens going 10K. That was one I thought of. I thought it was pretty cool. Like Ghost the King. There's that. And did you think so? He was supposed to, but he didn't. Get the cash. Cash with a K. There you go. Grab that kiln. Grind, torture, kill. Okay. All right. So yeah, does it stand for anything? Nothing specific, but it could stand for many things.
Cool. We got to get into the text, and I know you found Grand Hop, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
I found that.
Yeah.
I don't like the name of it.
I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he had mentioned he didn't like the name, but okay. So how do you find something like that, and like how do you decipher what you did, or was it an idea that you have going into it and then you do it? Like how does one come up with this?
All right, let me give you a little preamble real quick. I don't like the name Grand Hop at all. I think it's really stupid sounding, because I just generally don't like people naming things after themselves. I think it's kind of petty. But at the same time, I get it. If you're like a teenager and you're like really, really excited, like, oh my gosh, I just found something. Like, okay, fine. And I'm sure, like Neuro, when he found Neuroplant, was probably a teenager. And like, I'm not going to get mad. But I think also, here's a huge exception to me saying I don't like people naming things after them. I think Grand Hop sounds stupid, but I think Neuroplant sounds really cool. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, it does sound
it really does.
Yeah.
So let me think. How did I find the Grand Hop? Well, I would like to call it something else. Quarter pipe reverse air. QPRA. Quarter pipe reverse air. Yeah, that sounds good. Ghost. There you go. Right off the fly. So what I did, I remember I talked to Buff about this. Basically, I wanted to find a new tech that could like reverse you. I remember I talked with Q Levy, earlier, and like I wanted to find a way to reverse grinds like without having to get off your board. And because sometimes I've done that. Like in game, there are times where I did a grind, and then I just started grinding the other way for some reason, and I couldn't really find out why. And it wasn't with stalls. So I tried that, and I didn't really have any luck. But I figured, hey, why not try something with quarter pipes, like reversing yourself? And I already knew about hops and all that, and like that's cool. But that's not really the same thing. That's kind of like keeping your motion going, keeping your speed going like the entire time without sort of changing direction. And don't get me wrong, hops are awesome. Kind of a small name for such a technical move, by the way. But BHRA is less technical than hop, but it has like a super long name compared to hop. But whatever, it's just the way it is. I just tried to find a way to reverse yourself once you land, and I tried it enough. I found it. I found myself doing it. And then I was like, okay, so I think it might be possible unless it's just like a total glitch. And I kept repeating it over and over. And eventually I was like, all right, I think it's possible. I think this is repeatable. The thing is, it's kind of an unfortunate story for that specific one because my findings with that are that it actually didn't require like really any button presses that were specific besides ollie. Like all you really have to do is time an ollie. And spin it a certain way. It doesn't require any sort of setup. And I think it has something to do specifically with like the ramp geometry. I noticed it's pretty hard to do it in Thug 2 levels, but I think theoretically it's doable on any quarter pipe. It's pretty easy on some of the Thug 1 levels. I made a video like my second improv style whatever video. I showcased myself doing it in New Jersey, and I also did it. I had a video that was like an outtakes video from my third video G3, where I was in Manhattan that night, and I go down, like I go up the quarter pipe near the pier, and then I come back down and land, and I just get shot into the water. Like I go from the quarter pipe over top the ledge into the water for no reason. Like that was me doing it again. And like the technique, it's not as like substantial as butt slap. It's not substantial as like boost plant. It's not as game changing. It's definitely fun, but it's not. It's like specific to each ramp, I think. So it's not something you can repeat. And the unfortunate part about it is that I actually did make a tutorial for it, but the tutorial got deleted because my hard drive crashed. I had a lot of tutorials that I didn't release because my hard drive crashed. It was actually really unfortunate. Like Fate Hop was in there. A really elementary version of another tech that I haven't really completed is in there, which might be a good thing looking back. So yeah, it got deleted. But I guess I could. People asked me about it. I remember Edom was really curious about it, and he like spent a lot of time trying to figure it out. And then he became just as able to do them as I could. He basically helped me recognize that, yeah, it's just pressing X. So basically, in short, I wanted to do something like that could reverse your character, kind of like stalls can, but not using stalls. I tried with grinds first. I had some success, but not enough to pursue it. And I tried with quarter pipes. I just repeated certain actions on quarter pipes, seeing if it would work, seeing if I got anything. I did. And then I just kept repeating it, refining it. And then I found it. And then I basically narrowed it down. I can't do it every time. Like I definitely can't do it every time. It's not one of those things like butt slap that can be done every single time you try it. This is, again, specific to like ramp geometry, I think. At least it seems to be.
Can you bust out a couple of them real quick?
Here, probably not.
Yeah.
I can try, but I know in some places, I mean, I'll change the level.
Yeah, just change it to one that you know for sure you can do that. I've seen it a couple times, but I want to see it again. Oh, shit, we're going to crash if we leave Shipyard, so don't leave this level.
Wait, what happened? Wait, what?
No, if you leave Shipyard, there's a decent chance you crash while you leave. So, but
that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Let me see. I know over here, and like over here on Shipyard, it's pretty easy to do. I might not get it the first like 10 tries, but I might get like 3 in a row. I've actually gotten like, I think there's a video of me doing like 5 in a row. I don't know if I released it or if it's just like a clip I have. Let me see. Nope. I thought a lot it had to do with revert, but it actually has nothing to do with revert. Like there's one, see that?
Yeah.
But in this one, you actually like instantly spine almost every time.
Okay. So you don't get the height.
Sometimes you get thrown into the air. You can, but like there's another one. You can get it on the big pipe, the big quarter pipes. You can get it on any quarter pipe, I think, but this is just specifically easy to do it on. I don't know why. Again, maybe when like Morton or whoever converted this level, like maybe they just didn't look at the ramp geometry. I don't know. I really don't know why some ramps are easier than others, but I'm assuming it has something to do with like, oh, this is from a different game, and so you go up the quarter pipe at a different angle. And so like when you ollie, it's just like shooting you back for some random reason. Like I've gotten some really humongous ones here, and so has Edom. Edom's gotten some really big ones here specifically. Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. I haven't tried it in a while.
Well, other than the Grand Hop, did you find anything else?
Yeah, I found a couple. One I put on like as a tutorial, and I don't know if you can say I found it so much as I like discovered it. I don't know if there's a difference there, but
sure.
It's something that's kind of only doable, I think, in THPS Pro. Like it wasn't doable. It might be doable in American Wasteland, but I've never seen a tutorial for it. I've never seen anybody discuss it. I've never seen anybody do it. So, maybe somebody out there found it and said nothing. Maybe, but as far as I know, I was the first one to come across it. And I made a tutorial for it. It was called the mid-air spin out. Basically, you're doing a BHRA, doing an air manual, and then spinning out while you're in the air, as opposed to just spinning out on the ground. And I think it looks really cool. And I do it quite a bit. And actually, from that, I was able to find something else. which was the wall ride manual. I made a tutorial for that too. I thought people wouldn't like that. I thought they wouldn't care, but people really like that a lot. Like in their comments, they're like, "This is so cool!" Like I got a lot of positive feedback from that.
So wall ride manual. So you can do a manual animation on the wall.
Yes, you can do any animation. I think you can even do specials. I can't remember. I think so. It's pretty fun. It requires a certain setup, mainly BHRA, but that's another one. In Nevada, I know he's thinking about one right now where I think I showed it to Ghost. Okay, that was a good one right there. I showed it to Jens as well. There's a I don't really have a name for it except for like quick turn quick turn pivot quick turn or quick turn pivot, whichever you want to say. Basically, again, it's another thing I wanted to just find a way to reverse your character really quickly. Let me see if I can do it here. Nope. I wanted to find a way to do like a quick reversal that was in a combo, and I did. I found a way to do it, and it was combining like this right here from Tony Hawk 4, that.
Yeah.
This quick turn right. I don't know if you're still observing me or not, but
yeah.
Okay, combining that with a pivot from a BHRA. So basically, the pivot and this become one, and I think it's only doable at a certain setting because like if you set your quick turn to like anything but down R2 or anything but down R1, I don't think it's going to work. I've tried with all the different settings, and this is the only one that gets it. Most of the time, you're going to end up with the BHRA. And I mentioned this to Bixor specifically because I know he's really good with like finding stuff out about text. He even made a video like describing why bonks even exist, which I thought was really, really cool. Did you see that video?
No, but I know Bixor's got a lot of tutorials and like does weird shit like the ink spin. Yeah.
Yeah, like again, I think it's a cheesy name, no offense to them. Like props to Ink for existing, but like ink spin, come on. I think there's a better name for that. Cool technique though, definitely.
Yeah.
And
yeah, this thing must be a bitch to do. You haven't even done it yet.
Well, here's the thing. I could send you a video right now. Maybe I'll just make it public. I have a video of me doing like 7 in a row or 5. I don't know. I can do a ton of them in a row. And this is like another almost fatal technique, I guess, because like the quote unquote grand hop, I hate that name. This is possible anywhere, but if you do the inputs perfectly, it might not occur. And if you do them perfectly, it might occur. I'm pressing the exact same thing for when I do it and when I don't do it. It's the exact same input. And I'll tell you when I get it. You'll see it.
Oh, for sure. I'll see it. I'll definitely know. Because you're going to go backwards, right?
Yeah. And like a lot of time, it just ends up with a BHRA. Let me try. I'm just going to keep trying it. Like again,
did multiples of these in a row. You know you cheated when you did that. Jesus, you can't even do one right now.
Well, no.
It's got to be hard. It's got to be
That's
hard.
The thing,
I ain't even
like,
going to attempt
it. It was so elusive. When I tried to find it, I did it once and I was like, oh my God. I remember I shouted. I think it was on Discord with Nevada when I found it. It's like, oh my God, I did it. Like I didn't know if it was just like a theory in my mind. Like I think it might be doable, maybe not. And I did it. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. So it is possible. Can I please change level? I think it actually might be the level.
Yeah, well, you could try. Let's see what happens, yeah. Going back to Australia. Jesus, Grammy.
The only level that's worth playing.
No,
all right, you still there?
Yeah, I think Puke crashed maybe, and then one other guy. It's not so bad.
Sorry, Puke. Sorry, Puke.
I don't know. Maybe
anyway, we survived. Okay, so just keep observing me. I'll probably do it eventually. Again, I've done like 5 in a row, and I've shown this to Aaron. I've shown this to Ghost. I showed this to Alec all before SMG1. Like I've had this for a while, but it's just so damn inconsistent that like I don't want to make a tutorial for something that like I can't do every time. But it's not my fault. Like I'm literally doing the exact same input. It's like imagine you do a butt slap, right? But it just doesn't trigger.
Yeah.
Like what do you say? Like, oh, I guess I suck. Or no, oh, I guess it's the game. I think there's like a certain state. This is my theory. There's a certain state the character has to be in, and that state isn't readily available to you just looking at the character. For example, you probably haven't seen it, but I made a tutorial on how to do a backwards manual. Like you can get into a manual and ride it backwards. Have you ever seen my tutorial on that?
No, but I've seen someone do it before.
Okay, well,
yeah, I don't know.
It's really crazy. Actually, I found that too. That's another one I found, actually, to be honest. It's like, 3 or 4 at this point. The way you get into a backwards manual, you have to start a game, do a certain technique, like a BHRA 180 landing in a manual. It's like this. Like you have to do that right before a game starts, and then end the game. And then if you do it again, then it works. And now that took forever to find.
Oh, so you would start a game as the host, and how it has that like few second delay, you just do it there.
Let me see if I can do it now. Yeah. Let me see it. That might have gotten it. Let's see. It did. Okay, cool.
See? Yeah. Holy balls.
See, so I found this too. Like I was really, really happy to find this because I remember I did this. I did this one time, and I remember I showed it to Iron from Flow, and he was like, "How the hell do you do that? Tell me right now." I'm like, "I don't know.
Does it hold it? Like if you go into a wall ride, do you wall ride backwards and shit too?
I think I just did a backward grab, but like if you go into a Casper, it puts you straight forward again. See, it puts you into anti-Casper.
Wait, but it's
you
still
can do
keeping,
everything.
It's still keeping.
Like you can do a backward truck stand.
What the fuck? Yeah, that's weird.
Let me see. You can do.
Wait, so what's it do when you wall ride? It just puts you forward, probably, right?
Let me see real quick. I think so.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it puts you forward.
Yeah. Huh. That's pretty crazy.
So that was another one I found, which I thought was really cool. Like, it doesn't really do anything for you, but again, I like style the most. So whatever looks cool is cool with me. So that's what I was interested in finding. Let me get back to trying that other one again. The pivot. What is it called? Quick turn pivot. Yeah. I showed this to most of the SMG people like way before SMG 1 ever even came out, and they're like, "That's really cool," and they're like, they never asked me anything about it, and I don't blame them because like I couldn't do it every time. But like I remember Ghost was like, "Yeah, I just want to find new stuff," and I was like, "Ghost, here's something new," and he's like, "Oh, okay." No problem with Ghost. Though Ghost is off. I'll get it in a second. But anyway, so what I was saying, like the reason I brought up the backwards manual is because I think with this technique, in the same way that like a certain flag in the game's code or whatever is set off when you do like the backwards manual, you know?
Yeah.
I'm really messing it up. Like some sort of reason that happens after a game and not beforehand. There must be some sort of flag or whatever the terminology is for like, okay, allow it to happen versus don't. Because once I get it, you'll see. And I probably do like a couple in a row once I get it. Like once you get it once, you start to get it a lot. And then you stop and you can't get it again. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's like opening the node basically if something's happening. Yeah. It's weird.
I don't know what causes it. Like I haven't gotten it yet. Let me see this. I've done it in a lot of my videos though. I did it in G2. I did it in G3. I did it in a lot of my recent videos. I'll just keep trying. I'll tell you if I get it. I don't want to.
Well, so which texts are the hardest? I mean, this one it might be like one of the hardest ones. Is there one that's harder than this?
This one's not even hard. It just has to happen. The game has to allow it. I don't know why it doesn't. I'm not getting it even once here. It's crazy. Usually I get it at least like 3 times in a row. The hardest technique. Okay, can we make another name for Grand Hop? Like, what did Ghost say? Quarter. Ghost today. Ghost. What did? I'll just have to send you this video. I do like a bunch of QPRA, quarter pipe. What was it? Let me try to get this. Man, I'm just like flunking it here. I don't know why it's not happening. Quarter pipe reverse air. That's such a better name. Like, isn't that better? QPRA? I think it's better. Yeah. And Grand Hop. It's just a. But I don't blame people for saying that because I never gave it a name. Because I never released the tutorial. I don't even know what I called it in the tutorial. I don't even remember. But I didn't say Grand Hop. And I think it was C-Dot who was like, hey, I guess he had nothing else to say. He was just like, is that a Grand Hop? I'm like, oh, I guess. Geometry is really weird. You can't see.
So what do you think is the hardest tech to do? It's just in general.
Personally, probably because I haven't tried them at all. Elec can do Thug 1 boost plants in wall ride bounces, which I think is really crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen him do that. I've never been able to do one. Then again, I haven't really tried, but I think that's pretty crazy, man. Like a Thug 1 boost plant in a wall ride bounce, that sounds like pretty damn hard.
Yeah, Blur's able to do those really good too.
Who can do that?
Blur. Yeah, he's an old SMG member. He's really good at that
Borg?
shit. Blur.
Wait, who?
BLUR. I don't know.
Oh, Blur.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Couldn't hear you. Okay, I just did it. Do you see that? Yeah.
It didn't keep it going. You ollied like right away, huh?
Well, fun fact about this technique, ever since the latest patch, which changed something having to do with Thug 1 BHRAs, you can now do these in a combo. And like basically, it's essentially a BHRA kind of in a combo. Not really a BHRA truly, because you can't ollie out of it.
Sure.
But you can do these in combos now. So if you get one, I mean, Godspeed getting one, but if you get one, you can do them in combos.
That's pretty cool.
I'm having extremely bad luck with this. I don't know what's going on. I did one, and now it's like not even firing. And again, I'm pressing the same input. Like the input does not change. I've got to talk to Bixer about this. I feel like he could figure it out like in a minute. And he's already able to get them, so that's kind of...
Yeah. Want to keep it moving? So
okay, no problem.
What led you to want to make tutorials? Are you happy with the output, and do you intend to keep on doing them when new techs are discovered?
What led me to make them? A couple of things. One, I'll have to say, because when I went totally berserk finding out Thug Pro existed, I wanted to help out any way I could. You know, and I told the devs, like, what can I do? What can I do? By the way, I can't code. What can I do? And they're like, oh, so probably nothing, you know, but I was like, no, I can do something. I remember, like, when I was first learning this stuff, you know, from Nit would tell me, oh, he could. But there are some things I guess Nit didn't mention, or I don't know if he knew it or not. When I first found out, like, I saw people doing certain tech, I don't know if it was Thug 2 or Thug 1, I don't know. But I remember people would be like, no, you're a noob. And I'm like, well, yeah, don't make me stay a noob any longer than I have to be. Teach me, come on, like, can you tell me? And they were like, no, we're not going to tell you. I'm like, what? I wish I remembered who that was so I could like flame them at this point, but I didn't have the foresight 15 years ago to do that, I guess. But basically, people would not tell you how to do it. They would want to keep it to themselves. And I thought that was really stupid. So I like the idea of like sharing knowledge, and like a lot of people have told me, thank you, like you really helped me. Like basically every time I get on this game, someone tells me like, hey, is that Grant from YouTube? And I'm like, yes. And they say, dude, you helped me so much. And I'm like, awesome, man. Like that's the entire goal, like to help people. Also, I have to admit, there's a kind of a tiny bit of a cynical side to it. Like at some point before I made any of the tutorials, people would see me do just like a boost plant, whatever. And they would be like, how do you do that? Oh my God, what is going on over there?
Big McGang going on.
And like, I got kind of tired of like explaining like basic text 100 times in a row. Like that got really boring really fast. And so, you know, let's kill a couple of birds with one stone. I want to help the Thug Pro developers. How can I do that? I can share knowledge, which I think is worth sharing, and I can have people have a resource that they can go back to repeatedly that I don't have to keep doing over and over. So it's kind of like a culmination of things. And like you said, was it successful? I think so. Like looking back on some of them, I guess I could have like updated like some of like the videos. Like they could be like edited better. They could have like better, you know, video flashiness. I could have like better sound levels, better on-screen displays of text. I guess I could do that, but like so far, people still watch the same ones and they still tell me like, "Wow, that was so helpful. Thank you so much." So yeah, I guess it's been a success. I guess so. Like for years, I've gotten praise, and the whole goal was just to help people learn how to play the game at like a higher level. So in the same way that like Nit and Buck kind of helped me, I guess I'm helping other people, sort of, you know, at least learn the tech.
So do you intend to keep doing them? Like if something else
yeah,
gets
definitely.
discovered? Yeah.
I mean, if I can actually get these ones down, that'd be really cool. Like I said, I already had made some that got deleted because my hard drive crashed, or one of my hard drives rather. My dude is so tilted. It's puke. Yeah, if I get these down, I definitely will. I remember like I saw PTC or sorry, Protocol. He made like a Fate Hop one, or Hop, sorry. He also made a couple of other ones that I didn't do, and I appreciate that. It's like, all right, well, I actually had one of those ready to go, but again, it got deleted. But the fact that he already had one, and he had like the on-screen like controller thing, so that was kind of cool. he did that. I think someone made another one. Plasma made recently a DD45 one, which was more in depth than mine ever was. So I was just like, screw this, like that's awesome. I just added that to the playlist. I was just like, can I add that? And he said yes. He also made something else, I think. I don't know what it was. Sorry, but yeah, if I get consistently down some of these techniques, definitely I'll just keep making them. I know it's been a while since I've made another one, but I kind of got them all down. Again, I'm kind of like, would it be worthwhile for me to make a fate hop? Or I keep saying fate hop. Would it be worthwhile to make like a hop tutorial? I don't know, because there already is one, and people probably already appreciate that a lot. So what do you think?
Necessarily can be a good thing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you think there's a benefit in having multiple tutorials to do the same thing. I mean, maybe someone explains things differently than someone else, and it registers better with whoever's trying to learn it. It can't hurt,
I guess, but I wouldn't want to. I don't know. I get that, but at the same time, I don't want to have like superfluous stuff. Like how many people? Like I haven't actually checked, but I'm probably guessing there's more than one butt slap tutorial online. It's not just mine. I'm pretty sure there's probably in the realm of 10, maybe. I don't know. Is that really necessary? Yeah, I
don't know, but it'd be like if someone else did a THPS podcast. I'd be like, that's not a problem. There doesn't need to just be one. There could be a few. So, yeah, I don't know. That's the way I look at it. Is there's not necessarily. I mean, I guess you could become diluted eventually, but yeah, I don't know. Totally your call on that. I guess I don't know how to answer that.
I don't know if you saw, by the way, but I got another one of the quick turn pivots.
Oh, I was just pulling up the questions, literally within the last few seconds. I just wanted to make sure we hit up almost everything. So we're getting kind of towards the end of these. So no, I did not see it. I had WordPad open. But if they're watching, they saw it, obviously.
I promise, I've done many in a row before. I don't know what's going on with this. Seriously, maybe it's multiple people in a room. Because dude, often I play just by myself. Sometimes I don't know. I don't love playing with tons of people all the time unless I know them. Yeah. And so people who I do know, that I give my password out to them, and sometimes I have full rooms, but most of the time it's not full. Maybe this has something to do with how many people in the room. That sounds kind of crazy, but I don't know, man. There's been weird things in this game, especially I could go on. There's a reason. Me and Morton. Well, Morton was the one who identified the problem. There was a problem with creative skaters crashing. You couldn't see anybody in the room. This was a semi-recent bug, and it had to do with the complexity of the skater file. Given that we have a lot more customization now. We have scales in 3 dimensions as opposed to 1. We have customizable trucks and truck colors and wheels. We have a lot more of it. There's a lot more information in the skater file now, and because of the way it was compressed, it was causing certain people to crash. You couldn't have certain amount of complexity, and that obviously was a huge red flag. This must be fixed. People are crashing. They can't even play online. And I brought that to Morton's attention, and I probably bothered him way too much about it, but he fixed it. And it's a really weird. It's really weird. You wouldn't at first think, oh, this random glitch that happens to a certain number of players occurs. They go online. They can't see anybody. Would your first inclination be oh, that's the skater file buffer being too big? Probably not.
Right.
Yeah. So there's a lot of disjointed stuff in this game that makes no sense. But I wouldn't be surprised if this random tech was affected by how many people were in the game. I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff that would surprise you as to why it's happening. And by the way, what is going on here? They did. Oh, I know what they're doing. Okay, they're doing the sit glitch thing. Okay.
Yeah, they're observing, just chilling out. Did you answer this? We talked about videos. Did you answer a favorite video you made? I don't think you did.
No, I didn't answer that.
No, I don't think you did. And then, are you working on one currently?
I can answer that one. I'm always working on a video. Okay. Basically, that's the answer. I'm always making something. And also, shout out to myself. I recently released a playlist of kind of unreleased videos, ones that I thought this is kind of cool, but not really that good. Just me doing sessions in Australia, me just doing random stuff. I released a B-list playlist on my YouTube channel. Like it's just like videos that I don't think are quite that good. Maybe they were just made in like an afternoon. A lot of fun to make, but not necessarily the greatest video. But I released that publicly, so that's if you want to see me just like screwing around, that is there. But favorite video,
or if there's a video that you had to recommend, like a person that's new to watching Grand, that could be like, yo, this sums up what I do.
I'm like a fan of like the shorter videos, but obviously I'm sure I'm gonna make a long one. Does whatever a spider shrimp. Here comes the spider shrimp. I know you don't have text on. This is pretty fun. Let me look. I'm just gonna look at my video list.
Yeah.
Because okay. There's 3 that really are in the top spot for me. Like I always like making my most recent video. Like I'm always like, oh yeah, that's the best. No, this new one's the best. No, this new one's the best. Like obviously G1, I made it. I was pretty rusty coming out of like not playing the game forever. G2 was definitely an upgrade. G3 was even better, I'd say. Like, those are kind of older. And I definitely kind of came into my own more as I make them. So like going backward, I'd say they're probably less good as they get older and older. So I'm kind of caught between a video I have called Warbrain, a video I have called On and On and On and On, and a video called Whipping Hands. I think those are all really good. And also props to Buck, because I think he was the one that gave me the idea. Like, I don't know what to name the videos, so I just name them after the song that's in the video. Pretty sure he did that. So, like, props to him for that.
Yeah, it's always cool. So that kind of leads me into the next one then, because I like some of the music you chose. So your music preferences, favorite bands, and genres.
Basically, haven't updated my music preferences since like 9th grade.
Yeah. Okay.
It might sound weird, but like I don't listen to too much music these days. I just don't. A lot of people walk around all the time with their iPod in, whatever. I don't really do that. I like, as you know, Ghost. It's a good band. I've seen them in concert a couple of times. Very good band. I like anything with Darren Miller, which is like the frontman of CKY. You probably know CKY, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they kicked him out of his own band that he started, so that sucks. But basically, anything that he's in is great. So 96 Bitter Beings, that's his new band. That's a really good band. Let me think. I like him. I didn't ever used to like him, but I like him a lot now. Kind of surprising myself. Him, CKY. And see, this is like a 9th grader's like music choices. Ghost. In Flames is pretty cool. Flames is good. Enya, I like Enya. Do you know Enya?
Who?
Enya, it's like a girl. She sings. She's from like the 1990s.
Oh shit! It sounds familiar, but no, not off the top of my head.
I think she's like Celtic. She just sings. She's kind of just like, I don't know. It's really good. I like her music. Between the Buried and Me, I really like Between the Buried and Me.
Oh,
that's a great band.
Yeah.
Alkaline Trio, like them a lot too. But yeah, Between the Buried and Me is insane. Oh my god.
Yeah, they got some good stuff. I saw them live with Dream Theater back in 2008.
No way, they played with Dream Theater?
Yeah.
That is crazy. Wow.
Yeah, it was
that
them.
That must have been a hell of a show.
It was them, Opeth, and yeah, Dream Theater. Yeah. Kind of a hodgepodge of bands, but it was cool.
That's awesome. Okay. But yeah, beyond that, not a ton. Yeah, I don't really update my listening preference.
How about movies? Movie types? You got favorite movies in the last decade?
I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to judging movies. I either say like that was good or I didn't like that. Like I have a very, very, very skin deep interpretation of movies. But so like for example, like the Avengers movies, I think those are great. But are they like really, really like great films? No, they're not. Like they're great to watch. But I never leave the theater thinking like, about myself or about anything interesting. I just like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen in the next one. You know what I mean?
Right. How about if you had to choose, this is going to be really random, the Avengers series versus the Dark Knight series?
Oh, Dark Knight for sure. But by the way, let me say my favorite films are probably Kill Bill 1 and Kill Bill 2. I
Oh,
really like those.
Kill Bill is fucking awesome.
I don't even like. I actually really don't like violence in movies, but I love those movies.
You can't get much more violent than that.
Well,
I
it's
don't
kind of
like violence.
ridiculous
She
violence.
kills like 50 people and it goes black and white and shit.
I know, but it's like totally fake. It's obviously like over the top fake. You know
dude,
what I mean?
that scene where he uses the song when she's fighting the last fight in the garden, the Misunderstood song. That fucking scene is one of my favorite scenes in movies, just because the music to the atmosphere to, of course, the sword fight. It's fucking unbelievable. Yep.
Yeah, that's a great scene. Yeah, I like how they split it up too, and like they kind of have different sort of themes going on. I just really like that. I like the Matrix as well. Didn't really like the Matrix 2 and 3 as much, but Matrix 1 was really, really, really great.
Yeah, I don't think anyone they would never choose the sequels over the first one. You know they're making another one?
I mean, what? How?
I don't know, but there's works going on for another one, so yeah. I don't know how they'll do it or what they're gonna do, but yeah. I don't know. I just heard there was. And I'm pretty sure it's legit. It looked like it was on a legit site, so one more last one. So what other games have you been into, like on a more casual level? And then do you have a favorite single player game? And then is there anything coming out next year that you're looking forward to playing?
Coming out next year, I don't think so. I don't really know. And if there is something, it's inconsequential enough to slip my mind. So I really don't know. Single player games. Well, for what it's worth, I do play WoW every now and then. I usually play it a lot more than I do, but I don't know. It's cool and all, but it's not like amazing. It's not that great. It's changed over time too much. So there's that. Single player games. I'm not really a fan of first person shooters, but have you ever played like the really, really, really old Rainbow Six games?
Well, yeah. I mean, there was one on N64 and PlayStation. I think it was just Rainbow Six.
Yeah, basically those, but on PC.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say like Rainbow Six Rogue Spear. That was like the second one.
Okay.
That game. I mean, the graphics are absolutely terrible. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, that thing is a joke of graphics, but it has really, really fun single player. I really like that game for single player. I don't play it very often. I don't really play games often in general, but when I do play, I play this, mainly this. And I play this, some WoW, and every now and then Rainbow Six, but really not much. Let me think. Is there anything else? I Counter-Strike sometimes, but very rare. Like I play Portal 2 every now and then, like Skyrim, but those are just like really one-off things. Like I really don't play them often at all. Like I played Portal 2, played that with my girlfriend. Like that was really, really fun. Good story, awesome graphics. Just a fun game, but like that's like you play it once and you're kind of done. You know what I mean? It's like a story.
Yeah, so not a huge gamer, mainly just playing this, which is fair. That's how actually it's like 50-50. A lot of people they play a lot of other things, but then there's a lot of people that just play this game. So
yeah, it's basically me. Like I've played Minecraft before. Like that's a fun game, but like I kind of get tired of it. I don't continue with it. Like I played a lot of games, but I don't really stick with too many besides this, and I guess WoW.
Sure.
Mainly this though.
Cool. That covers everything that we had in advance, and we're going on a couple hours. Do you want to do Q&A and see if anyone has questions? We can do it in the Twitch chat.
Sure, that's fine. I don't know how many people are watching, so.
It was like over 10, but now it's teetered down to like 7. So, but
okay.
We could still see if anything comes up.
Sure, I'm down for that.
See what comes up. And of course, if they type in game, I won't see it, so you'll just have to read it from in game.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What is this? Apparently pukes. Oh. I don't know if you can see puke right now, but look at him real quick.
Let's see. Oh, look at that. Is he stuck in that?
It's like the observed glitch. Here, I have another one for you. I found this like a couple of days ago. I think it worked. See? See me now?
Yeah.
Like you don't stop. You just keep going. Pretty funny.
Damn.
I think it works with like a lot of manual.
I wonder if you could do that. Can you do that from like a boost plant into the wall and then launch a boost plant out of it or some shit?
I don't know. Maybe I could try.
That might be a workaround to do a manual boost plant. You know, I don't know.
I remember it didn't. I think Bixer made a video recently, like a kind of like abusing the observe. Like he went into observe, got out of it really quickly, and did like an extra butt slap in the air or something. I think it was really cool. Like that's a cool technique. I don't think I'd ever use it, but that's really really cool.
We got a question from
that's really sick.
Nevada. What is your philosophy when it comes to creating a unique style?
Okay, next question.
Okay. I don't know the ideal way of approaching that.
Creating a unique style.
Philosophy.
Is the question? What he probably means is methodology. The way in which you go about creating a unique style. I suppose you have to have some amount of knowledge of everybody else's gameplay, or else you couldn't know that it's unique, I guess. So there's that. Be aware of what other people are doing. And then I guess if you want to, you can focus on something specifically just to be a contrarian, I guess. You can just focus on one thing as opposed to any others. But really, it's more like just follow what you like. If you like for example, Puke can do stuff I've seen no one else do ever, and I've played this game for 15 years. Like Puke does stuff like he does a lot of running and stuff, running back and forth, and he just does like a backflip to a front flip. And who does that? I think it's just by pursuing your own enjoyment of the gameplay. Like if you just pursue that enough, you will be unique, I'm guessing. Like a lot of people try to play the same. I think. I get the perception that it happens. Like people, especially new players, they see people post videos and they're like, "Oh, I want to do what that guy's doing," and there's no problem in that. That's really cool, and I definitely get that because when I first started watching improv, I was like, "Dude, I want to do that too." But you don't become unique watching other people. I think you can become unique just trying to get better at the game, trying to push yourself, just following follow your nose. Do what you want to do, and just keep doing it.
Makes sense. It's a good answer. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else gonna pop up for a question? Question for Grant. Well, yeah, I think we've nailed a lot in the 2 hours we've been talking. So I'm content with it if you are, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely good for sure.
Yeah,
favorite underrated players. I don't really have an answer for underrated player. Like basically that's saying this guy sucks, but not really. He doesn't actually suck. I would also have to have like a community perception of like, okay, we don't really think much of this person, but I do. I don't know. I don't know who a newcomer. I'm sorry, I just don't have a substance.
Yeah, you were telling me before. That'd be pretty hard to answer.
Here's a positive answer for you. How about any new player? Everybody has potential. You're the underrated player. How about that? You can do anything. There you go.
That was an in-game question.
I didn't know. Yeah, that was Puke asking in text. I know you turned the text off, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and that might not have mattered for this lobby, but you never know. Just whatever.
Well, there's a guy earlier saying some stuff that was kind of gross, so I banned.
Oh, there you go. So I got to avoid one oops.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, sweet, dude. I'm going to end it here. Thanks again for doing it, and it was fun.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. As for your first question, like suggestion for a next guest,
Yeah.
I have an idea. Maybe like, for example, Fun just released a video, right? Really cool video, really long, by the way.
Yes. Really
Maybe
long.
like maybe some sort of combination of like, hey, if a team's making a video, we can have all of you on at the same time and like talk about it as it premieres, or maybe after it premieres, or whatever.
Yes, I have thought about that. Yeah, but not many team videos come out, so I kind of missed that chance with the Fun video. It might be a while till another team one comes out. There's just not many of them. But yes, it's a cool idea, and if anyone does want to do that, I'm totally game to do it for sure.
Well, here's a suggestion. Let's see what. Yeah, Nevada suggests Jens. Jens says he doesn't mind being on, so maybe Jens if he can do it next week or whatever.
Yeah, maybe I'll reach out to. I know people would like to, hear from Jens. I don't know if anyone actually talks to him or not. So.
Oh, he has a voice. I've talked to him.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe. I'm gonna see. There's a couple people I had reached out to, and if they get back to me, awesome. If not, maybe we'll swing that direction. But all right. Well, I'm gonna end it here, and hopefully we'll figure this out, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
All right. Yeah, man. Sounds good. Thanks for having me on. This was fun to do, and I guess I'll catch you around the game.
All right.